Guys, I fixed it. I fixed it. There's one screen and it's just me. There's not like a double screen. And my webcam is working. My good webcam is working. I'm hoping my microphone is working. I don't know. Somebody tell me if my microphone is working, because maybe I should have tested that. I don't know. I'm actually going to split. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm going to split view this so I can like pop over to YouTube and just see if anything's going to come up, because I hate doing videos this way because then I can't interact with you guys. And literally, like, what is the point in doing things this way if I can't interact with you guys? So anyhow, I wanted to just pop on here, take a little breather, talk to you guys a little bit, acknowledge that my hair is getting entirely too long. Ew. Can we just talk about that for a second? Guys, you don't even have to go back and watch my other videos, but just like the thumbnails of my videos, I look like I'm wearing a wig right now. This is a lot. I need a haircut, but I'm too indecisive to cut my hair, so we're just gonna not do that. So it is currently June 1st. I have Roof Cat staring at me. Hi, friend. I have Clover losing her mind somewhere. Goodness only knows what she's doing at any time. I have my toilet behind me like a classy YouTuber. I was gonna close the door, but literally who cares? If you're bothered, bye. So okay. I am somebody who is very in tune with dates, time, to an obsessive degree, a little bit. Hello. Hi. When something is coming up in my life that is significant, for instance, Ishka's birthday, right? That was April 12th. When something like that happens, I just feel the need to acknowledge it. And it becomes like this all-consuming thing where it's like the only thing that I can think about for like days leading up to it. And then it happens, and it's like a really, really big emotional thing for me. So it's hard for me to process things normally like a normal person would. So right now, it's June 1st. Tomorrow, June 2nd, is the death date of one of my friends. His name is Ezra. And he was in a youth group that I was a part of in Florida from the time that I was, like 19 to like 22. Roughly about that. Which doesn't really seem like that long of a time, but when that is like your main source of interaction with other people, it becomes kind of like a bigger part of your story than just like going to school and going to work and going to church and going to extracurricular classes for whatever. So for me, it was a really, really big thing. Now, Ezra, although we clearly did not know, was battling with depression. And unfortunately for us, took his life. And it's been a really difficult time processing over the last year. And I think for me, personally, it hits a little bit differently than it would for most other people, just because I am somebody who has attempted in the past. And for me, it's been a lot of, okay, well, why did my attempts not work and his did? What makes my life more valuable than his? There's a weird sense of grief mixed with guilt that doesn't really seem to translate into words. It's been very difficult. And I was supposed to have therapy this morning, and unfortunately my therapist canceled. So I'm just like, it's a really critical week for me to address my personal mental health. Now, I've been so incredibly vocal, so incredibly open with what that looks like for me personally, because I can't speak for every person. What works for other people doesn't work for me. Some people can just be like, oh, I'm gonna meditate. I can't meditate, y'all. I can't sit with my anxiety and make friends with it in a dark room listening to singing bowls over and over. Like, that's not my vibe. I can't do that. Okay, I'm sure I could, but it just doesn't work in terms of quelling the anxiety within. Okay? It doesn't flow, personally. So, I've been trying to find ways to deal with that, and recognizing that I'm in a severe depression right now. And when I talked to my therapist last week, and I asked her, I was like, with PTSD, or in my case, CPTSD, is it even fair to bring up things like anxiety or depression when I don't have an actual depression diagnosis? And she was like, yes, because you have depression is like the carry-on baggage of PTSD, so like, duh, you're gonna have that. So even just yesterday, taking a shower was an event. It shouldn't be, but for me it is. It's been a weird time for me personally to sit and to think and to reflect. With everything else going on in the world, it seems kind of trivial to bring up my own issues, but it's not like I can take everything happening in the world and compartmentalize that and like set it to the side, because I need to focus on what happened with Ezra and process that. Like, it's all happening at once. There's no way for me to just like take a chunk of time and set it aside and come back to it later and redo that chunk of time so that I can focus solely on that. That's not, time is linear. That's not how this works. You know what I'm saying? I can't take the first 5 days of June focused entirely on the world literally falling apart right now, and then go back in a week and replay it just to focus strictly on Ezra. That's not how things work, right? So trying to juggle all of these different things right now is difficult for me personally. It's bringing up a lot of memories of my own past attempts. It's bringing up a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of questioning. Have I been wrong in sharing my experience? Did that somehow influence him? That's been my main question over the last few years, is did something happen? Did I say something? Did I do something that influenced him to do that? As if I'm so special, I have that kind of power. I literally don't. Some days are better than others in terms of processing things, but I just think that if you've ever experienced suicidal thoughts, suicidal actions, if you've made an attempt, things like that just hit you differently, and there's no way to describe it. Other people might see it as like, oh, he died and that's sad, or oh, he had depression and that's sad. And I don't know how to articulate it in a way that doesn't sound awful or selfish or whatever, but I'm telling you guys, it just hits my brain in a little bit different of a way that's really hard to put into words. Of course, grief is just difficult in general. So that's kind of where my brain's been at for a while now. Also, I'm going to move my microphone because I'm worried that the CPU fan, like I know what I'm talking about. I'm worried that my laptop fan is just going to be like blowing air constantly. Another thing. We are going to talk about protesting. We're going to talk about riots. We're going to talk about those things, and if you don't like it, this is my platform. You are welcome to have your own platform. You are welcome to spread your own message. You are welcome to have your own opinion. I'm not your real mom, and I never will be. But this is my platform, and if you are choosing to watch me, this is my message. This is it. It is what it is, right? And if anybody is watching this live and is like commenting or anything like that, I'm not ignoring you. I'm literally just watching the XSplit stream right now because my laptop won't pull up the YouTube stream. I'm telling you guys, there's two things in life that I really need right now. One is for my mom to stop being a dumpster person and just give me my camera back. I called her earlier for the first time in like almost 3 months, telling her that I needed my camera, which I'll get to in a minute. And she's like, oh, we gave it to you, which is ironic because that's not what you told the cops 3 months ago. But I desperately need a new laptop. And that is like my number one goal in life, is to save money to get a laptop. Possibly a Mac. I don't know. I don't know a lot about laptops. But all the Windows laptops I have been trash. So, moving forward. Now. Screensaver, hi. Excuse me while I choke on my tea. Okay. So. Buckle in, kids. It's going down. Now, backstory. I was raised mostly on the south side of Chicago, which is why I say the word Chicago the way that I do. So I was born in Florida, raised in Illinois, and that's why sometimes I sound more southern and sometimes I sound more ranch dressing-y. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, in a little town called Markham, a terrifying little town called Markham, I was one of maybe like 3 white people on my block. Maybe. I think literally there was like, so there was the Gibbons down the street. There was the Migases across the street. There was us. No, wait. There was 2 more. There was the kid who threatened to kill me in 2nd grade. That's a whole different story. He literally, we were like 7 and he told me that he was planning a school shooting. That's a story. And then there was the parsonage from the church that I went to. So there was a grand total of 5 white families on this street. That was it. We were entirely the minority in that area. We were not taking over that block. It was not going to happen. Now, when we first got to Illinois, things were normal. We went to school at Markham Park Elementary, down the street, down the hill. And even my class pictures, it was like looking at a chocolate cake with like white sprinkles. That was just the reality. Like, it's South Chicago. It is what it is. Okay, fine. Now, I was not educated enough, and I'm going to reference 2nd grade a lot because that was my last full year of public school. At the beginning of 3rd grade was when my mom pulled us out of school because she said varying things. She said that she didn't like the school system, it was too dangerous, and blah, 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 whatever. Literally, you could ask her every day for a week and get 7 different answers. Now, when I was in school, we had Black History Month. My teacher in 2nd grade, God bless her, Miss Prendergast, absolutely adore this woman. She was somebody who would teach us not just about history, but she would teach us about culture. And oh, Lord, that was something I loved so much about her. She was very into Native American culture. And so she would teach us about Native American history, Native American culture, Black History Month, African American history, African American culture. Recognizing the fact that we lived in Chicago, she would teach us about a lot of local history and things like that. And it was just life-changing. So, fast forward a little bit when we started being homeschooled, and I can't use loose enough air quotes. Literally, a few months ago when I was helping my parents move, we were in their Connex box because for some reason they owned a Connex box. There was a paper in there from Cook County, Illinois that said notice for intent to homeschool, and it was blank. And my mom goes, well, that's the copy. I don't know how many of you guys have ever filled out paperwork in your life, but most of the time, especially now, when you fill out paperwork, you will get a carbon copy, right? All of my Highlands paperwork, there's like 3 layers. You'll have my screen, honest to God. My Highlands paperwork, I wonder if I have like a folder. You don't need a folder. The top layer is white. Then there's a pink layer and a yellow layer. The order doesn't matter. 1 layer is for your records. 1 layer is for their records, right? Which is standard. Back in the mid-90s, I can't verify that that was standard to have carbon copy paper. I don't know when that became like the normal thing. This was just a regular white piece of office paper in landscape mode that said notice for intent to homeschool, and it was entirely blank. So from 1999 until literally right this second, there's no record of me existing in the state of Illinois. Basically, I just went missing and nobody said anything. Thanks, Cook County. Good job. Now, all that being said, when my parents decided that they were going to pull us out of school, they decided that they were not going to teach us about proper history, right? I had to Google and trust in Wikipedia at the age of like 23 just to know that Anne Frank wasn't a meme. And I'm not making that up. Literally, I was like in college. I watched a Netflix movie. I think it was like The Diary of Anne Frank, or it was something about Anne Frank. And I was watching it and I was like, I wonder if this really happened. I had to Google in my mid-20s to find out that Anne Frank existed. That's how successful my homeschooling was. Just so you know. My parents did not teach me about the Holocaust. Google taught me about the Holocaust. My youth pastor taught me about the Holocaust. My parents didn't teach me jack shit. Okay? Now, when it came to Black history, when it came to Black anything, not allowed in the house. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the hairstyle called twisties. I'll pull up a picture. So when I was a kid, I was like 13, and one of my friends at church, Fina, she had taught me how to do twisties. And I had bangs. They were disgusting. But I had bangs, and it's not pulling up the right thing. But I'll show you guys. So she kept my bangs out. She took from like here to like here, twisted it, and then braided it down, and it was super cute. And she showed me how to do it, and I'll show you guys real quick. So basically, what you would do is you would have your hair, right? And then it's much easier to do on my hair texture than it is to do braiding on my hair texture, because my hair is so fine and like thin, right? But basically you would just grab hair, twist it, and then grab more hair and twist it, and then that is just like what you would do. And then obviously you would like try to keep your rows as straight as possible. Right? So you would have something like that. And that was just like a thing that we did when I was a kid. I came home from a mission trip in 2003 to Indiana with 5 little twisties in my hair. My dad freaked out. He was pissed. He was like, take that shit out of your hair. No, Fina put in work. No. I didn't understand that. And this was not even the first time that my dad had some like off kind of thing happen. When I was a kid, my friend Andrew came over. We was having a cookout in the front yard. My dad went full racist and was like, get that little N-word boy out of my yard. That was the first time I recall ever hearing that word. I was like 6 years old. My grandma was like, you're not going to talk to that little boy that way. That's Jay's friend. You're going to make him a plate. Shut your mouth. And it was a thing, right? So all of that being said, when it came to learning history at home, that was not a thing, all right? My parents would teach us about Native American history. They would teach us about... My parents would teach us about white people history. They would teach us about literally anything else, but they refused to teach us about anything pertaining to African American culture, anything like that. We were not allowed to watch Black people TV. We were not allowed to watch Fresh Prince. We were not allowed to watch Family Matters. We were not allowed to watch Sister Sister. We were not allowed to watch Famous Jed Jackson. We were not allowed to watch That's So Raven. Anything that had a black lead was basically taboo in my house. So when my parents were at work, I would watch that all the time. That was my jam, right? It became such an issue as I got older that when my dad would put on his garbage TV, I would silently protest and I just wouldn't go to the dinner table. I would get in trouble. I would get grounded all the time. And I didn't care because I was not about to watch his white propaganda TV, which was Seinfeld and King of the Hill. Still to this day, I can't stand those things. I just can't. Like, there's an episode of Seinfeld where they were having a contest to see who could go the longest without masturbating, and it's like, that's what you choose to have on TV? Really? You could have some family-friendly programming on by watching something like Family Matters, but you choose to watch that instead. Okay, fine. Whatever. So I would just go lock myself in the bathroom until he was either done eating or I got my ass beat, because that was just the norm. So all of that being said, when it came to learning things about African American history, culture, things like that, no, that stopped in 97. That did not continue. But as I got older, I always had this interest in learning about different cultures, about different religions, about different lifestyles. And so there was a show on Nat Geo called Taboo, and I absolutely love that show. Anything that I can watch as far as like a documentary goes, that's gonna get me the information that I need, that's gonna tell me what's happening in the world. I recently watched a documentary on YouTube about being married in the Unification Church, or the Moonies. Fascinating. I don't know why I'm so enamored with stuff like that, but I think it's because it was such a stifled topic in my home. But yeah, that is the backstory of all of that. My dad is a big Confederate flag person. He claims that he's not racist, he's Southern. Miss me with that bullshit, because I'm not here for it. So all of that going on, all of these protests, all of these riots, I am here for the protests. I am. 100% I support the protests. I support Black Lives Matter 110%, because Black Lives Matter. And I will say it again. Black Lives Matter. Right? If you don't like it, this channel ain't for you. Bye. Nice seeing you. I'm happy to go to 0 subscribers. Peace out. I'm not the one for you. Okay? Now, while I say that I am here 100% for these protests, I am here 0% for the riots. I am here 0% for the violence. It's not necessary. Do not be the first to throw a rock. Do not be the first to incite violence. It's not necessary. You can defend yourself, because everything's being recorded. Don't be the first one. Don't do it. Don't start a fight. Finish it. Now, I got a call from my landlord about 6 p.m. It is currently 7:51. I got a call from my landlord about 6 p.m., which is rare, because their office hours end at 5. So if somebody's calling you after 5 p.m., something ain't right. And she goes, "Hi, so I just want to let you know that we were informed by law enforcement," which already like made my heart sink out of my butthole, because I was like, girl, I was taking a nap. I didn't do it. Like, and she said, "Hey, so we got notice from law enforcement that they're going to be having protests on Main," which is literally the front door to my apartment building opens onto Main. If y'all are planning to loot the thrift store downstairs, don't do it. Y'all leave my thrift store alone. So she said, "Hey, just want to give you a heads up. It's happening supposedly around like 11 p.m. Put that in your back pocket. So if it gets a little loud, that's why. If stuff starts getting weird, I'm the one on call. We always have somebody on call for this program. And our building is triple secured, so all of the outside doors, 2 of which are full glass, all of the outside doors, you need a key fob, an electric key fob, and then the first door that you need to get through at the top of the stairs requires an actual key, and my front door is always double locked. Always. Without fail, double locked. So I'm fine security-wise, but I am a documentary murderer. I always have a camera on me. Always. 100%. So I instantly was like, I need my camera. I gotta find my camera. I gotta go get my camera. I gotta do something. I put my extra phone, my old phone, on charge so that I could have my camera ready to go. I have my actual phone that's on charge right now so that I can have it ready to go. I found an old camera that I think is entirely dead because it's not charging. But then I was like, I need my actual good camera. So I called my mom. And my mom goes, yeah, we gave it to you. No, you didn't. And I told her, like, there's going to be protests. There could be rioting. I have to document stuff. Like, that's just what I do. She wanted to fight about it. So I have to sue my mom for my camera. It's a thing. Because I'm never going to get it back otherwise. She's just a cow. And it just is what it is. But all of this kind of loops back around to story number 1. I had a camera with me at all times. If I hadn't had a camera with me at all times at the church I went to in Florida, I wouldn't have, like, the pictures and the videos and stuff that I have now to give to Ezra's family to be like, hey, yeah, this might have been, like, 10 years ago or whatever, but, like, here's some great memories of your kid, of your brother, that you can now enjoy forever. So I feel very strongly about documenting literally everything. I just wanted to like put that out there. I am not afraid of the cops out here. Most of them know me by first name just because of my mental health issues from living at the halfway house and always having to call police because something was always happening there. I have very distinctive tattoos. Even though I dyed my hair, I have very distinctive tattoos. I have a very distinctive personality, a very distinctive attitude. It's clear that I'm not from around here, but I'm not scared of the cops out here. I'm more scared of the freaking sheriff out in Saguache. Guy's a dick. I'm more scared of Roof Cat staring at me right now, creeping around the corner. Girl, go inside, it's gonna rain. I'm not afraid of joining the protests, but I don't know the logistics of it. I don't know if they're planning on looting, rioting, all of that, which I refuse to get involved in. But if it's a peaceful protest, I'll document it. You know what I mean? Like, show the world, like, hey, Alamosa standing, what's up? But if it's looting, rioting, and shenanigans, I'm recording that and I'm handing that to the police like, here you go. Because this is not called for. This is buffoonery, and y'all should know better. But I'm also not scared to take a bullet for this either. I'm just not. Like, maybe I should be, but I'm just not. Like, I remember when I was a kid, my preacher was at his office. Somebody came by, tried to rob him. He got shot in the butt. And there was just something about your preacher getting shot in the butt that you're not really scared of that happening. You know what I mean? Plus, there was a lot of gang fights in my front yard growing up. So, like, I'm not really scared of that either. You know? It just feels like an inevitable thing. But also, I know for a fact, growing up in the church, they would say that you need to be a martyr for Christ. You have to be willing to die for Christ and this and that and whatever. But we should also be willing to die for what's right just across the board. And I'm not saying go get yourself run over by a bus because you think that the prices are too damn high or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no. But in terms of, like, this stuff, if you're out there protesting and you get shot, I mean, personally, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid to die for what's right. I've never been afraid to die for what's right because I know that if I'm somebody who's out here and I'm standing up for things and I'm making a difference for things, whether or not the world knows my name is not relevant. What is relevant is the fact that I stood here and I made a difference. And I said, you know what? This is incorrect. I'm here for change. I'm here to incite change in the world. I want to see things be different, and I'm willing to die to make that happen. I think that is that whole like American spirit or whatever that a lot of people have lost sight of, because people back in the day were willing to die for their rights, die for freedom. You know, why aren't we willing to do that now? I'm just saying. Maybe maybe it's some like mental illness thing, I don't know, but just personally, I'm not afraid to die for what's right. I'm not. I feel like if I'm dying for what's right, it's a good reason. It's a good reason to die. It is. I don't consider it to be like problematic or anything. I think it's more problematic to sit back and let things happen and not do anything about it. I think it's more problematic for people to sit there and be like, we should do something, and then do absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I say these things as someone who was brought up in a home that really tried to reinforce the idea of racism, and it didn't work. I question the people who weren't brought up the way that I was, that still ended up being racist. Where did that come from? Because we're not born with that kind of hatred in our hearts. So I just want to know where it came from. A lot of people, I see a lot of people right now doing this whole little like wipe it down challenge or whatever. You need to be wiping it down in your soul, get all that nasty shit up out of there, because clearly it's taking up space from things that matter, right? So anyways, there's that. I am pretty much done here. I feel bad because like I can't see anybody's comments. I can see at the top it says how many viewers there are and like what's up, but like I can't see comments or anything. So I'm just gonna try to pop back over on to the YouTubes real quick and just see what's up, because I'm telling y'all, it's so hard to do this kind of live stream as opposed to like just what I was doing. Where I was just like, webcam, hi, or just like uploading from my phone, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, I'm so frustrated with the whole process. Honestly, I wish YouTube didn't make it so hard. But especially right now, like, don't you think it would be such a valuable thing for us to be able to have the opportunity to say, like, here's what we're going through and, like, live stream things, but, like, I don't know, maybe it's just, like, a control thing for them. I don't know. I don't work here, lady. Anyways, yeah, it's not really pulling up anything. So there's that. I was also thinking, and what have you. That's cute. Like, my whole thing just, like, froze. Okay, like, thanks for freezing, computer. I appreciate that. So anyways, I'm just gonna, like, put this out there, and you guys can, like, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think on Twitter or whatever, because clearly I can't see any comments right now. Thanks, YouTube. I'm considering, not 100%, I'm considering putting together a YouTube wish list. A YouTube wish list. I'm an idiot. An Amazon wish list. So that when people want to donate to the channel, since I technically, we're working on this right now, I think I might have found a loophole. Since I technically can't make money from home, I can't run a business out of my apartment. I'm working on a loophole, okay, trust me. So since I can't do that, I don't want to get in trouble for any YouTube money that might come in, which is like few and far between. I've literally only gotten like one check ever from Google. I'm considering putting together an Amazon wish list, or at least making my current wish list public for y'all, so that instead of people donating money to the channel, it can be things from that. So like snacks, household things, some little like trinkety things, but like mostly necessities. I don't know. I feel weird about it though. It kind of feels like one of those like subscribe to my Patreon things, which I absolutely hate, but it's like, I don't know. I've never asked anybody for money literally ever. Like, my best friend's husband's mom recently asked me, like, what do you need for your apartment? And I was like, nothing. But, like, they own Goodbelly, so it was like, I got nervous that they were going to try to, like, send me money or, like, send me, like, a bookshelf or something, and I don't want that. Because I hate the idea of getting, like, money from people or, like, handouts from people. Have you guys seen, like, my whole reaction when somebody tries to, like, donate money on one of my live streams, and I'm just like, take it back. Like, please don't do that. Like, it makes me feel weird. But I'm considering putting an Amazon wish list out there. Tentatively, I don't know. I just don't know. It makes me feel weird. I don't know if that's something people are into. I know that there's a lot of people out there who want to support creators and they want to support people. I'm not the one though. I just don't feel like I'm important enough for that. I feel like that's something you would do once you hit like 20,000 subscribers or something. I don't know. It feels weird. But I'm just saying it's a thing that could potentially happen depending on reaction. I don't know. I want to gauge reaction before I do it instead of being like, hey guys, here's my Amazon wish list. Like, because I know how that makes people feel. So, there's the information. I'm going to leave it up to y'all because personally, I'm uncomfortable with the idea. Like, it feels weird. But I don't know. Getting donations and like super chats and whatever they are, whatever they are, I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just somebody who like sits in front of their camera and rambles for an hour. I don't know. But when I see people who are like donating to the channel or whatever, it just makes me feel weird. Anyways, normally this is where I would like open things up for like questions, comments, concerns. But again, I can't because I can't see since it's not a normal live stream thing. But if you guys reach out to me on Twitter, I will respond. And if you guys reach out to me on TikTok, I uploaded like 9 videos on TikTok today. Somebody come get my phone. But if you guys reach out to me on TikTok, I will respond most of the time in the comments. But I recently discovered how to respond with video. You guys, I'm evolving. I still look like I'm 12, but I'm evolving as a human, and maybe that's what matters. Who even knows? In the meantime, if you are out and about and you are participating in protests, please remember to put milk in a spray bottle for mace and pepper spray purposes. Sweep inside to outside to drain. Make sure you wear face coverings, cover all your tattoos, all of your identifying markings, so any significant scars that you may have, anything that could be easily identifiable. Make sure that you are wearing long sleeves, goggles if possible. Do not wear contacts, do not wear makeup, because they will irritate your eyeballs once mace or pepper spray enters your face holes. Let's see what else. Stay covered. Just in case of like shrapnel. It's better to take it in the jeans than take it in the leg. Wear shoes with ankle support. That's a good one. High tops, Doc Martens, boots in general, great for running if you need to. Let's see. Anything else? Write the number. I saw somebody else say this. Write the number of the ACLU on your arm in case you do get arrested. Because don't write the number of anybody you know. Don't do that. Don't be stupid. But like, write the number of the ACLU on your arm, in case you do get arrested. That way, like, your one phone call, that's a good one to have. There's a lot of lawyers out there that are doing pro bono work right now for people who are being arrested during protests. So definitely, if you can, if there's somebody in your area who is doing that, also write that number on your arm so that you can make that phone call as well. Anything else? Yeah, don't be a looter. Don't do that. Don't be that person, okay? Like, don't do that. I can't emphasize this enough. Do not be that person who's going to start violence. Don't do it. Literally, what is the purpose? Do not set anything on fire. Do not deface property. Do not damage property. That is not going to help get your message across. It's going to do more harm than good. You look goofy. Alright, stealing all these TVs and stuff, like, you could have been stealing diapers and formula for your kids, but you chose to steal, like, 18 TVs. I mean, really? That's where your priorities are? Really? Really? No. Don't be that person. Don't go out looting. Don't go out rioting. I fully believe that peaceful protests can make a difference. I fully believe that standing in unity can make a difference. I fully believe that we do not need to resort to violence in order to incite change, and that by doing so, you're just hurting the cause. So, all of that being said, I'm gonna go. Questions, comments, or concerns, reach out to me on my various platforms. Twitter is still Jessalyn Official. I haven't changed it yet. And then TikTok is at Saoirse River. I cannot wait for the courts to open back up so that I can legally change my name. So excited. And that's it. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys later. And if there's any protesty, riotty goodness on my street, I will definitely be uploading things on Twitter and TikTok for sure. So